Hello and hi everyone, my name is Nur Atira binti Razali and my matrix number is 01DKA20F2002 and I am from DKA3A. Today I'll be sharing to you guys my case study on slope failure for subject DCC393 Geotechnical Engineering. Okay, first thing first, I'm going to share with you what is a slope. The angle inclinations of the soil surface from horizontal is known as the slope. The resistance of an inclined surface to failure due to sliding or collapsing is known as a slope stability. Principles of soil or rock mechanics, geotechnical engineering, and geology engineering are used to ensure slope stability. Case studies on slope behavior have resulted in a better knowledge of slope stability mechanics, the development of sophisticated constitutive models, the awareness of laboratory and in situ testing limits, and the development of innovation instrumentation techniques to analyze the slope responses. Okay, so the main objective for the case study is the main goals of slope stability analysis are to identify vulnerable areas, investigate potential failure mechanisms, determine slope sensitivity to various triggering mechanisms, design optimal slopes in terms of safety, reliability, and economics, and design possible remedial measures such as barriers and stabilization. So there are 4 types of slope, which is falls, translational slides, rotational slides, and flows. While factors of slope failure is divided into 5 types, which is geological, hydrological, topographical, climatic conditions, and extent of weathering of rock and soil. Okay, now I'm going to introduce you to my case study. Okay, there have been several slope failure incidents happen in Malaysia. And on December 28, 2012, one of the massive landslides incidents happened at midnight. The landslides happened on the anchored slope of Puncak Setiawangsa, Taman Setiawangsa, Kuala Lumpur. The house, which is belonged to a foreign family, was the most severely affected by the landslides, and no one was injured as the family was believed to have moved out after noticing cracks in the buildings recently. The residents of 88 others homes and shop lots nearby were also ordered to evacuate. Okay, this failure caused a residential house located at the top edge of the slope to partly collapse. The failure also caused an carriageway of the dual carriageway at the bottom of the slope to be closed. Okay, as you can see on the screen now, here is a front view of the slope failure which taken on the incident day. Okay, according to the reports, the slope was 43 meter high and this is appeared to be the wall prior to the failure. At first glance, it looks to have suffered a localized failure on one side, although such an initial reading is questionable. Image from other angles showed that a wider failure of the slope happened, although this is only speculation at one point, while this one suggests that there is a tension crack at the end of the wall as well. Okay, that's the reason I would speculate that the left side of the wall has filled and drifted outside and downwards based on the image on the report. Okay, these 2 photos on the screen imply that the bottom half of the wall has shifted outwards while the top of the slope has shifted downwards, indicating rational failure behind the wall. Okay, the incidents on 28 December 2012 at anchored slope of Puncak Setiawangsa, Taman Setiawangsa, Kuala Lumpur was later resolved that the failure factors on the study areas may be attributed to a combination of several factors such as steep slope, lack of drainage system erosion, and lack of ground anchors maintenance. But the main factors was the weather in Malaysia. The erratic weather on Malaysia was one of the reasons that's why most landslides happen, especially when it's on the monsoon seasons. The heavy rain may affect the soil conditions and cause landslides and mudslides as it changes the pressure in the slope. Okay, now I'm going to share with you some of the tips on how to prevent the slope failure from happening. First is we need to manage a proper drainage. Slope failure can be prevented by managing a proper drainage on the slope to reduce the waterlogging and seepage focus. Because when the soil absorbs rainwater in the excessive amount, it's lost its bearing capacity. The next step to prevent the slope failure is sheet piles. Slopes can be improved by the provisions of sheet piles and retaining walls, which provide a lateral support to soil and make it stable, or the soil doesn't move through it. Okay, the last tip is to increase the strength. The slope failure of the soil mass can be improved and make it stable or reusable by increasing its strength or by reducing the soil mass. Due to the improvement of the slope failure, which reduces any kind of accidents. Okay, as a conclusions on this case study, we can see that the erratic weather issues on Malaysia, especially monsoon seasons, are the one to be blamed. But the weather is something that we couldn't avoid, and those are the reasons why people who is in charge of the constructions need to be ensured that the site construction must be in the appropriate located area. They need to be careful when they are making decision to approve it or not. People who is in charge of the site construction should aware of the potential failure mechanism and safety to avoid anything like this happen again in the future. Malaysia will never get harmed by any landslides if we can avoid this. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.